What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another one of Lucky Strike Living. My name is Captain Gordy. I am a third generation captain here in the Gulf of Mexico off of West Florida, Southwest Florida in Naples. And if you haven't seen last week's video, which you should because everybody seemed to love it, because I brought the man, the myth, the legend himself, my dad. Say hello. Hello. So you guys seem to like that he came out, so I forced him to come out again. I tied his hands behind his back and just forced him, right? Yeah. But another beautiful day, and we're just gonna see what's going on. We've got something a little bit different than last week. We've got our tanks and we've got some spear guns. I don't know where they are, but we got our tanks all ready to go, bean bags holding our tanks, and some spear guns. So we have no idea what we're doing, but we are gonna have some fun doing it. Maybe go down, shoot some fish, maybe look at some new spots, but we have no agenda. Just enjoying a beautiful day on the water. Little breeze, doesn't get much better. And as always, Rip. In there. That's Ripster. So Rip is my first mate on all of my charters, no matter what, and he is my little buddy. Love him to death. But that's enough talking. We have found a new spot and we are going to throw these tanks on real quick, jump overboard, and maybe shoot a fish, maybe shoot nothing, who knows. But we're gonna bring you guys along. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and we're gonna see you at the bottom.
It's not too big. Blue runner.
What do you got?
I have a yellowtail.
Yellowtail. Heck yeah. There you go.
Nice.
I ain't ready yet. I haven't put my tanks on yet, and he can't help himself, so he's gonna fish and outdo me again. If y'all missed last week's video, he kicked my butt.
It's a first.
Yeah. See ya. But I will get my revenge because I have a spear gun. Look, I just had time to put my gloves on, and he's already back at it.
Another yellowtail.
Is he bigger? I'm hungry.
Oh my gosh. You need to hurry.
No, not quite. Rip, what's he doing? Is he catching more fish than me again? All I had time to do was put on one glove. That's it. Is that fish hitting you? So that's a yellowtail snapper. They have to be 12 inches or bigger, and that one's probably maybe 12, but we're gonna let him go. Pretty fish. Okay, I need to hurry. All right, when I go in the water, just push that little button. Boy, you got another one?
Oh, something.
What the heck? This button right here.
Okay.
You just push it once.
After you've been in the water long?
Yeah, just as soon as I go in. Okay. Can't believe you got another fish, and I ain't even ready yet.
Uh-oh.
That'll work. That'll work. Hey, Rip. No. Three to 0. Nice job. Dinner. Like I said before, this is a brand new spot to us. We've never fished it or dove it before, so you're gonna see it for the first time just like we are. As you can see, the water is fairly clear, but once we get to the bottom, there is a ton of what we like to call whale snot, or moss, or some kind of algae bloom that is all over the place the closer you get to the bottom. We found this little ledge by using side scan imagery on our Garmin units, so I know for a fact that this little ledge is in fact very, very little. So I know there's not going to be a ton of fish, but hoping that there might be some nice quality. That is what you call target panic at its absolute finest. As soon as I got to the bottom, there was that nice wolf pack of mangroves. And when that happens, you have to pick one mangrove out of the school and follow it and have that one be your target. What I did was I picked one, then picked another. No, that wasn't right. Picked a different one. And by the time I decided on a mangrove, he was super spooky, and you'll see him jump the band. I'm assuming most of you would not have enjoyed this dive, but I had an absolute blast because from the tip of the spear gun to the GoPro is about a foot. So try to imagine shooting one of these snapper with all of this whale snot in the way. The gun is probably 5 feet long, so when you see these fish and it looks kind of clear and kind of close, I can barely see these fish with the amount of stuff in the water. So for me, it was a great game of cat and mouse, trying to find these fish and predict where they were going to be, because at no point during this dive did I have a clear pictured shot on any of these fish, even though it might look like it in the GoPro. I know y'all are either laughing at me or yelling at me to shoot, but the picture that the GoPro has is very different than the one that I have. And these mangrove snapper would not sit still, which is like every mangrove snapper we've ever shot. Every once in a while, if you sit real still right outside of the entrance or the exit of their little ledge or hole, they will provide you with a second shot. But this day, these mangroves were very smart and knew I was there and decided I do not want to get shot today, so they left. Only the little ones were left over, but those big mangroves that we saw on our first pass, they were long gone, and I never saw them again. Look what he's doing. Catching fish still. All right, we get it. See, I scared that fish over to his line. You heard it here first. Just showing off now.
You scared him to the hook.
Yeah. That's what we're going with. Ha! That's small. So you guys saw what it was like down there. Water was clear, but there was so much moss all over the place. For me, it was the greatest game of cat and mouse with those mangroves, darting in and out of that stuff. Couldn't really see where they were, couldn't really get exactly the shots I want. Did 2 Hail Marys, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but you were on the spear gun, so you weren't on top of my head, at least for the GoPro sake. So this is a rig that I put on the GoPro. So everything that you saw isn't necessarily everything that I saw. But I was down there, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe? Look, he's just throwing mangroves in the live well. So we might have to abandon the diving, maybe go to fishing a little bit. But that was cool. New spot. I don't know what I'm gonna name it yet, but I know he's gonna catch another one before I even get my rod ready. Yep, doing it again. So the rig that we're using is a little jig head, little piece of shrimp. You just slowly let it sink to the bottom. So I'm gonna catch 1, maybe 2, and then we might go try another spot. Who knows? But dinner is kind of already taken care of, so the pressure is off of me. But I would like to redeem myself for missing those 2 nice mangroves down there. Oh, rip. Finally got one, buddy. Hey!
You're a recorder.
I'm recording right now.
Oh.
There you go.
All right.
Way better with rod and reel than a hook. Nice little mangrove. I have redeemed myself. Kinda, not really. Those mangroves down there that I missed were maybe twice that big. Not quite. Little baby.
Uh-huh. Another throwback. Ripster, are you helping me?
Yeah, I'm trying.
You're the best. Oh, this is a little one. This has milk coming down out of the corner of his mouth. But it's the right kind.
Yellowtail. Ripster, that's a yellowtail. So the current's going from the bow of the boat to the stern. So when you have these really light little jig heads, you want to toss it up front just a little bit. So by the time it gets fairly close to where you want it to be, it's directly below you. So your jig isn't way back there in the back. And you just slowly let line out. Real slow. And typically they'll eat it before, oh, he's got one, before it gets to the bottom. What are you doing now?
I don't know.
A little bigger?
A little bigger.
Not a throwback.
I don't think so.
£10 test. Be real gentle.
Yes, sir.
This is the one I shot at. This is the one.
Ripster.
So while he's fighting that fish, what's really interesting is how many yellowtail have you caught?
Probably 6 or 7.
So he's caught 6 or 7. I think I saw 2. So typically you'd think you would see the fish that are around when you go diving, but sometimes they kind of go off that piece of bottom and you'll never see them. So pretty cool. That's why you always have a fisherman and a diver, because you never know. Might be one of those AJs.
He's giving up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you called it.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Rip, back up. Yep, I saw some of those down there. Oh, a blue runner.
Blue runner.
A big old buckshot. What are you interested in?
I
Yep.
haven't seen a blue runner like that in a long time.
That's a world record.
He's wore out.
False alarm, not what we want. So the bite slowed down just a little bit, So we're gonna go hit our next one, and our next spot is 206 feet away. So the Gulf is very different, where you can have multiple spots really, really close together and catch two completely different fish. Two completely different spots. But obviously fish have fins, so they can swim over to that one, but we're gonna see what's going on. See if he can outfish me again, which he will. A little porgy. How pretty that fish is.
Let me see.
Yep, that spot, no good, covered mud. And who says bananas are bad luck? Not me. Absolutely delicious. We've got 4 miles to go. All right, y'all, we have some really, really good news. So this spot, I found 5-6 years ago, something like that. And after the hurricane, like we talked about at that other spot, it completely filled it in with mud. But that was 2 years ago, and the fish have opened it back up. So your big groupers, Goliaths, blacks, gags, reds, turtles, they find these little pockets of little ledges, and they move their tails like crazy, and they get all the sand and mud out of that little hole in rock. And they'll reopen places. They will find other places, find new places. So this place is back open for business. So we're gonna drop some jig heads down, see what we can find. And then I almost guarantee you I will be on the bottom with a spear gun in my hand. Hopefully the water clarity's a little better. As soon as I click the button, he got him on! What it are?
Toss back.
Toss back?
Toss back.
I don't want no toss back. A laner. Laner. Alright, I'm gonna jump in the water. I gotta see what it is. See what all is down there. We've only caught lanes so far. So I'm gonna put you on the spear gun like I did at the last spot. One fish. I just want one. That's not too much to ask. One nice big mangrove. Alright, see you in the bottom. Just a minute. So the first thing I notice on this spot is the lack of bait fish and small snapper, and also that terrible sight of mud. So I stick my spear gun in, and yep, it's that leftover mud from Hurricane Ian that came through a few years ago. And it's hard to tell, but I try to dig up some so you guys can see it. It's nasty clay, just real gross stuff. But I did see an open ledge on my side scan, so hopefully I just missed the spot and we're going to see what else we can find. It might look like I'm swimming really fast, and I kind of am. The current is absolutely ripping out, so I'm just following the current, swimming normally, but it does look like this video is in fast forward. But I'm in search mode, trying to find any kind of life. It's amazing how dead this spot is. And here comes the big roll-off and small ledge that my transducer found. Here is a perfect example of the amount of mud that is in our area. This right here is a stone crab trap that is completely submerged in mud. I don't know the exact measurements of a crab trap, but 12 inches, 18 inches, somewhere in there, absolutely buried. So imagine the amount of spots that this mud has covered. That was wild. So much mud. That spot, it's gonna take a long time to come back, but my ride is here. Hi, Rip. Where were you? Well, how about that? Big roll off, super steep, some places 3, maybe 4 feet tall, maybe. But that crab trap shows you how much mud was actually there. So I stopped for just a second and told you about it just a minute ago, but I want to go over it again. That's, how tall are crab traps? 2 feet? Not quite? 18 inches?
Yeah.
So there was 18 inches of mud because we just saw the very top of that crab trap and the rest is completely submerged. I tried to pull it out to show you guys, but it is just engulfed in mud. So the spot isn't ready. I'm not excited about it anymore, but we are going to hit one more spot on our way in just because we can, and it is on our way home. Maybe add 1 or 2 more to the cooler because that didn't do doodly squat. But let's see how far we got to go. How far do we have to go? We've got 2.1 miles. And as soon as we get there, you will be the first to know. I have abandoned the tank diving. Now it is all rod and reel. We're gonna see what we can do real quick. New spot, I found it, I don't know, a couple months ago. Oh, he's already got one. It ain't very big. So just gonna explore this real quick and then we're gonna head home. How's my boat hair? Is it good? Not too bad? All right, our last spot didn't do doodly squat either. A couple little grunts, a couple little lanes, but we've got enough for dinner. Nice little mangroves, maybe 2 nice yellowtails. That's all we need. Exploring, enjoying the day with my dad on the boat, again, is always an absolute hoot. Better than work, better than sitting on the couch doing nothing. But if you do own a boat, you know that you clean as you go. So on the way home, I was in charge of cleaning the whole boat and she's ready to go. So all we gotta do is get all the gear off and we're ready to roll. But I'm gonna take 2 of my fish home. Well, I'm gonna ask because he caught them all. I didn't do nothing. But I'm gonna take 2 and maybe do some fish sandwiches. But we've got a lot of work and a long way to go to get there, I think. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's what I'm sticking with. All right, we'll see you guys in the kitchen in a little while. All right, y'all, as promised, we are here in the kitchen for our famous fish sandwich. And the first thing that you always have to start with is some nice onions. We've diced them about yay big so they can fit nicely on a sandwich. And we're getting our butter to a nice temperature. And we're gonna throw the onions on, get them cooking nice and slow, and then we're gonna get all the rest of our ingredients together. But first thing, onions. A little salt. A little pepper. All right, now that we've got our onions cooked, we're going to set them aside. Nice and caramelized. So while those onions were cooking, I was able to fillet those mangroves, and didn't need to show you guys. If you've seen our channel, you've seen mangrove snapper filleted a bunch. If you watch other people's, it's practically the same, but we've got 3 nice mangroves. They are filleted, scaled, and deboned. And if you follow us at all, you know that we like very little seasoning. So first we've got Lowry seasoned salt. Just a little bit on everything, not much at all. Then just a little bit of pepper. That's it. Super simple. And since we cooked our onions on that pan is already hot. And ready to go. Make sure butter's all over it, and you're gonna throw your seasoning side down. Give it a shake so all that butter gets on there and your fish doesn't stick. And you come back with your seasoning, just a little bit. And mangrove snapper are smaller fillets, so it's probably going to take 30 seconds aside, maybe a minute. While that's going on, we're going to toast our bread. And we are almost done. This is a super simple recipe, and it does not get much better. It's absolutely delicious. Doesn't take any effort at all, just the fish, onions. We've got some avocado over here, lettuce, mayonnaise, and tartar sauce, and that's it. Right at about a minute later, whoops, flip them. One big tip I can give you is you want to crisp that first side quickly, because if you know, the more you cook fish, snapper, grouper, it'll start to fall apart. So you want to flip it before it gets so tender that it starts falling apart. So turn your heat up just a little bit in the beginning, crisp it, flip it, and then you can turn it down. So this will probably take another minute and we'll be done. 1 minute later, done. Come right over here. It's that easy. Now we can build our sandwiches. Little mayonnaise, little pepper, avocado, a little bit of lettuce, then you add a little bit of onion. See, nope, I want to do the fish first. Add your fish. Last but not least, your onion. And that's it, you're done. So our sandwiches are done, and I was bringing it over here to my lovely wife, and guess what I did? What are you laughing at?
You look really sad.
I dropped it on the floor.
I'm still gonna eat it.
Yeah, that's why we clean our house every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Oh gosh, okay. I'm sure that's a very flattering angle. Thank you for that.
I dropped my sandwich. Oh well.
You dropped my sandwich.
I dropped her sandwich, but I'm gonna eat hers so she can have mine.
You don't have to do that.
So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place because in our loaf of bread, we only had the butts left. That's supposed to be mine. But her sandwich fell with nice, beautiful, perfect piece of bread. So I'm gonna let her pick which one she wants
You
to
said
try.
that one might actually end up tasting better because it's nice and mixed up, and
Yeah.
there's an extra fillet in there now.
Yeah.
Because it was on the side. No, the thought counts that you weren't gonna give me the bread butts.
The bread butts. Nobody
I'll
likes
eat
bread
'em.
butts.
I don't mind them.
Well, you take whichever one you want.
I'll take this one.
You want that one?
You said you wanted that one. Now that it fell. It's very nice of you.
But taste test. We know what it tastes like. If you've seen our channel, you know what it tastes like. You know what our reactions are going to be. But just for giggles,
I didn't know you were on the camera. Delicious.
that was a quick delicious. I don't think you even tasted it.
I did. I was already nibbling on what was on the floor, so I've already tasted it.
Well, what a disaster that was. But welcome to our lives. It happens. We don't need to edit it. We're just going to show you the way we live. Sometimes you drop sandwiches on the floor, and it's just as good. Nobody will ever know.
Except everyone will know because we're enjoying them.
Except everybody knows now that we're complete animals. But that is all I have for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this little competition. My dad and I had spear gun versus fishing rod. I will redeem myself at some point. I told you I was going to redeem myself in this video, and I really didn't. But obviously it is an absolute pleasure to be out there with my dad. Nothing greater than going with the guy who taught me everything, who may be considered a local legend around here. Depends on who you ask. But that's all we have for you guys today. Red snapper season is coming up. If you're still watching this video, then you probably are a true fan. Red snapper season for us is June 1st, and that's when we really kick it into high gear. The videos are going to go way up in quality, probably in size of fish, because we're going to head way into the Gulf, like way out there. So hope you guys are ready for that. We went scouting 2 days ago, and that is our next video. So hopefully you guys like that one, but that's all we've got for you guys today. If you would, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.